Hey there, YouTube. I'm Jack, and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Coming to you from a spectacular hump day here in South Alabama. Our weather is pretty much perfect right now, but I don't want to jinx it because as soon as I say that, we'll get some wonky weather. But no, it's beautiful. I've been waking up in the 40s in the morning, sleeping really good, so can't complain. Today I want to talk about a fully raw food diet or not. Do this. Be sure and listen. Guys, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, please go down and hit that subscribe button now. Then click on the little bell and check send notifications so you'll stay subscribed to the channel and can come back and check out some more of my content. Just had a nice lunch. I am so satisfied right now. Gonna shoot a video. Gonna go down to the park to write a little bit, working on the book. Been getting really into the flow of writing, and I like to get outside, get out a little bit and write, especially in this nice weather. But fully raw food diet or not, listen, one thing I have is I do these videos and stuff. Sometimes I don't mean to ghost people, you know, if you follow me on Instagram. It's just I have zero interest. I have less than zero interest in discussing the intricacies of why not a fully raw food diet or why a fully raw food diet, because I've just seen that discussion more than I can even tell you over 8.5 years. In other words, I'm bored with it. I just don't care about it anymore because to me it's just not all, it's not an issue to me. You know, sometimes I'll share something on Instagram, or sometimes I'll do a video here, or sometimes I'm just reading other people's stuff and I see what they share, and they put something out that's got some good, a lot of good information in there, and a person will pick one little thing and pull that out and want to focus on that. So I have kind of I have two things I want to talk about a little bit in this video, although I'm gonna probably just kind of jump around a little bit. It's like, that's just, it always kind of annoys me a little bit, not because it bothers me personally, but because you're not taking the most out of the information, whether it's my information or other people's information. And I'm afraid if you're doing it here, you're probably doing it in general. I think I've mentioned this before on here. Bruce Lee used to have a saying, and I'm probably butchering it, and maybe it's not his, but it's been credited to him. Because he basically created his own martial art. He studied and was proficient in a number of the other martial arts, but he was like, things worked for him. So he took a bit of pieces from different martial arts and basically constructed his own. I don't remember, I'm not real that into the martial arts, Jeet Kune Do or something like that. But anyway, he had a saying, you know, take what you can use, discard the rest, and move on. Pretty much, like I say, I'm very much paraphrasing that, but move on. And that's what I would like to stress on today. And the number one thing is your research doing this and how you're figuring out all the ins and outs of this. Be more efficient. That's just not efficient, that every time that you stop on these little things, like say I do a video or somebody else does a video on the importance of greens, and somehow if something gets mentioned about cooked food, and the person has not even seen any of the information about the greens. All that's ticked in their little head is, uh-oh, they ate a bite of cooked food. Uh-oh, they ate a bite of cooked food. Now today, let me state again, I'm not here to debate you like this is the way, this is the way, this is the way. I would just say that you need to focus on, like, instead of focusing on that, focus on nutrition. How many times do I have to do a video and talk about this same thing? Instead of getting into this little nitpicky stuff about, oh, is this product particularly this or that, and all these little, you know, specifics, just, are you really focusing on nutrition? Are you getting your greens in? Are you getting the things that you need in? Or are you just 100% thinking about, okay, it's raw, it's raw, it's raw. Is it raw? Is it raw? And, you know, fully raw looks a lot different. Number one, I always have to mention when I do a video title like this, no, I have nothing against the fully raw lifestyle. I don't want to discourage anybody from doing it. It works out well for a lot of people. Chris Kendall, I think I saw something on Instagram, he in a post, like he's been raw vegan for like 16 and a half years. Now I've met Chris. Chris is a straight up guy. If Chris says he's doing something, I believe him. And I've got to hear Chris speak at Woodstock one year, and we've talked back and forth, and I follow him. But Chris, fully raw, one of the people that I'm like, man, this guy's doing it right. But he gets his nutrition too. If you watch any of his stuff, he focuses on nutrition. Now, yes, he eats fully raw, but also too, it's not just he's just fully raw. A lot of people just want to hang on to that label of fully raw, and I'll click on their feeds or I'll click on something that I can get a little bit of view into their life. And they're not that healthy. They eat a lot of garbage. Even if they're fully raw, they're still not really checking the box in the nutrition area of it. So focus on that nutrition. But also too, if you are stopping along the way, the next reason is also about being efficient and just this is what you're putting into your body. You're trying to get as much information as possible. When you stop on these little things, like every single time you stop and well, why do you do this? Why do you eat a bite of potato instead of blah, 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 instead of moving on to the next thing? It's just like a back and forth. It's a constant conversation that's most likely never going to get anywhere, because the people that are fully raw and they have the mentality of it's raw or nothing, you're not going to change their mind. You're not going to change their mind. Now, sometimes some of them will, when it doesn't work out for them, they will figure it out and they'll take a step back. But like I was talking about in the last video, and this is sad to see, and I see this a lot in the raw food community, is the person that's so stubborn about raw that they just keep over and over and over just trying to make the raw food diet work for them, and they never can do it, till one day they get to that point, that proverbial point that breaks the straw that breaks the camel's back, and then they're just done. It's not only let's take a step back and let's see if we can do, add some cooked food in there, but still stay vegan, still stay plant-based, still focus on nutrition. But it's no, let's throw the baby out with the bathwater. I'm no longer vegan. This lifestyle is dangerous. It doesn't work. It ruins your health. It's going to do this, that, and the other to you. And if you look into people that say those type things, the vast majority of the time, if you look into how they were eating when they were trying to eat raw, they just weren't, there was no way that they were going to succeed on that. So once again, like I say, this is about nutrition. This is about the health of your body. Sometimes I think it's almost like community. People, the more niche down a community and the more specific a community, and just kind of the mentality of a lot of the raw vegan community, it's like they feel like they belong to something, and it's something that's a little bit more elite. But I don't care about none of that stuff. This has been, and I'm getting more defined in how to say what my reasoning and what I'm doing. I was writing yesterday, and I'm like, this is about nothing other than repairing the cellular damage that I did to my body for 30 plus years. That's all it's about. I don't have any skin in the game. I am vegan. I'm going to stay vegan because I do consider myself an ethical vegan as well as just eating plant-based. So I'm going to stay vegan for the animals. But other than that, I don't have any skin in the game. I don't care. I don't care if it comes out that fully raw is the one to work, or this is the one to work. Somebody asked me this morning on Instagram as I shared something, and they said, oh, are you eating, because people come and go, even though I've been doing this for a long time, somebody can see something of mine on Instagram for the first time. So they asked me, I had a green soup and I had some steamed sweet potatoes with it, and they asked me, they said, oh, are you eating more cooked now because it's getting cooler? I'm like, nah, really just eating the same as I did all throughout the summer here. I adapt to my environment. I mean, when I lived in Costa Rica, it is what it is. When I was in Costa Rica, I had access to tons and tons and tons of fruit. I don't want to say I took it for granted, but I may have taken a little bit for granted just the magnitude of that, because at any time when I lived in Costa Rica, I always had bananas, always had access. I usually always had pineapple in the house, or if I didn't, I had access to it in 5 minutes. Always had mangoes in the house, always had papayas in the house. For the longest time down there, had mango sapote in my freezer, so I had a bunch of different fruit. And I got good greens down there, and I had a place where I could get orange juice every day, and I got sugarcane juice. I kept my calories up. Now, when I lived at the beach in Costa Rica, I was fully raw. I was fully raw pretty much the whole time. I don't remember at that little house I had in Playa Jaco. I don't remember. I probably remember maybe 3 or 4 times eating cooked food because it was hot at the beach. I was in the tropics. I had all the fruit around me. Here in Alabama, I'm not going to walk around skinny. I'm not going to walk around looking like a human skeleton. I get, with things shut down a lot this year, I haven't been getting as many mangoes. So a lot of days it's just bananas for me as far as fruit goes. Now I finally broke down, got a Walmart pineapple last week. It was good, got another one. But the point being, when I was down there at the beach in the tropics, I had the things I needed to keep my weight. Well, I still didn't put on some weight until I got to the States and got more of a mentality of like, yeah, I'm not going to be down in my 150s. I'm just too tall for that. And I started focusing on eating. But the point being, put me on a plane. We go back to Playa Jaco at the beach in Costa Rica tomorrow. I step right back into fully raw. No questions about it. So don't ever doubt. Like sometimes somebody wants to throw a little shade at me like, well, he doesn't eat fully raw because he can't. Let me tell you something, Bubba. I'll take you to Costa Rica and I'll bury you. We'll go down there and do a cleanse and we'll get just as clean as you want to go. Hell, we'll eat, I tell you what, we'll eat mono meals until somebody taps out. I'm just messing with you. I'm not trying to rile you up there, just having a little fun. But yeah, down there, point being, I'm very specific about my nutrition. That's all it's about for me from probably like the last year or two forward. So that's all I'm ever going to focus on. I'm not into, the back and forth. You decide that. Decide that for yourself, but stop making it this little badge you wear on your shirt, on your sleeve. I'm a fully raw vegan. If you are, another one out there I'm just thinking of, Melissa. I network with a lot of people that are fully raw, so I'm not throwing shade at doing a fully raw lifestyle. What I'm throwing shade at is if you're doing a fully raw lifestyle just to be fully raw and you're not getting your nutrition in there. So anyhow, take what you can from that, just my 2 cents worth, and your mileage may vary. Guys, hope you enjoyed the video today. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you again at the end of the week. Peace.